So here we are, actually this is the end of the trip. We took a ride out to Mustangs Unlimited this morning to get our driver's side fender and headlight bucket and some other parts. So we'll get them unloaded and show you what we got. And we actually did a little video while we were out at Mustangs Unlimited in Manchester, Connecticut. So we'll show you that first, and then we'll take a look at these parts and see what we got today. Okay, so here we are at Mustangs Unlimited getting parts for our car. We're getting a fender, headlight bucket, yeah, some U-bolts, and some other little parts. Let's go in and take a look around. So in Mustangs Unlimited, we have a crushed Shelby, and a Cougar. There's a real Shelby down there.
Get some pillows and everything.
Yeah, they sell a bunch of like tag sale stuff too. You're not buying stuff off the counter. And they have used or damaged stuff for cheaper. Laying on the floor if you want it. Lots of little parts on the table. And the counter where you order your stuff. Alright, so everything came out and we did manage to squeeze that fender into the back of the Ford Fusion, along with the box, the headlight bucket, and a couple other things in a bag there. So it all fits, and we're on our way back to the garage to see how it looks on the car. Alright, so here it is. We went to Mustangs Unlimited this morning and we got a new fender for the driver's side of the car. This one is made in Taiwan. Comes packaged up in this cardboard box. It's all it's protected pretty well. You know, it's cushioned and whatnot. Here's just another point to see. This box, it's really not a solid box. It's cardboard that they wrap around the piece, and then they tie it off with all of these little strings that go around these hooks, you know, like these buttons that are attached to the cardboard. But it protects it really well. And we inspected it at the store before we left, and this one is in good shape. So I'll get it open. Okay, so I got the box off, and the first thing that you'll notice is it has all of these little like rubber protective cushions on it. On the fender itself, there's another one over here on the corner to keep everything from getting bent up. So they do a good job of protecting it while it's being shipped. Just looking at this one, I don't see any dents or dings in it on the bottom. Flip it over. And again, nice and smooth. It's a little dusty, but that's not a problem. This one's nice. It's got the flare for the wheel opening. You know, our old one, this is pretty much gone. They kind of flattened all that out with all the filler that they put on it. So I'd say, you know, it looks nice. The real test will be when we put it up on the car. Alright, so here are the two parts side by side. I think the best way to compare them is for me to pick up the camera and walk around with it a little bit. So first, let's start with the old one. This red one is the old one. This is the back end near the door. There's this stiffener and this kind of a gusset plate deal, and then there's this attachment point underneath the fender. A bolt comes up through the bottom here. And on the new one, you know, it has all of the same features. You know, the same rib here, and you know, the same little gusset. I will say that it looks like the thickness of this new one is thinner than the old one. It's not as thick. You know, I can tell right here. This on the old one, this stiffener bracket right here is pretty thick compared to the one that's in here. It's a lot thinner. I'm sure that contributes to the lightness of it. But you know, if you look at, you know, right along the top, if we come up to the top here, there's some kind of a recess or something right here, right when the flange starts. If I look at the old one, you know, that's in this area, this kind of that recess, but this one's been so badly damaged, it's hard to see that that thing actually exists. Looking around at the flanges on both of them, you know, they both look pretty similar in height. You know, the new one compared to the existing one. And again, the thickness on this replacement piece is less. I can bend this pretty easily with my hand. And then this one, you know, I can also bend it, but I can just tell by feeling it and looking at it that the original one's a little bit thicker. Now, one thing I didn't notice on the original part, if you look at this lip around the wheel opening, there's like some kind of a double bend in here. You can see how this edge, as it comes around, this taper point, it seems to move in towards the outside face, and then as we get around, it opens back up. So, you know, right where the wheel is, in this middle section here, there's like a compound or double bend on that lip. Whoops. And again, these flanges, they're just all mangled and full of filler. So when you come over to the new one, you get a better idea what it's supposed to look like. Everything's nice and smooth through here. No dimples, no dents. I mean, you expect that on a new piece. You don't expect it to have any dents or dings in it. And then coming around, this one doesn't have the headlight bucket, you know, that extension of the fender. You buy that as a separate piece. So we got that one also, the reproduction, because if you look at this original one, there's a big crack in it. Where is it? Here. At the bottom where this mounting bolt goes, you can see how this thing flexes. And this is a big crack right underneath my finger that runs all the way across. This is pot metal, so I don't think I can fix that. And it runs over into the front. I know the light's not good out here at this angle, but basically that piece is, it's cracked. I can see the crack. If I put the camera down, I can spin that thing around. So we got a new headlight bucket, which surprisingly costs almost as much as the fender. Alright, so here's the other piece we got today. It's the headlight bucket. And this is a reproduction. It comes with a bunch of, there's a spring in here, some little screws and washers, and some plastic pins. I guess those are for screws to go into. There's a bucket in here. This is actually the headlight door, or whatever it is. It's that bowl piece. Get this glove back on. It's a little cool here today in Connecticut. Winter time, January, so it's a little cold. There's a gasket here. And then this, the headlight, there's a bezel ring. This one, we have this one that came off of this the original one. It's not in bad shape. That one's brand new. I don't have to scrape it or paint it. And here's the new, you know, reflector pot, whatever they call this piece. And you put the headlight in here. So this is all in the box when you buy it. Couldn't get it separately. I was going to try and not buy these pieces because the ones that we have on the car, you know, they're not in terrible shape. And if I can reuse an original part, why not reuse an original part? But it comes all as one, put that in the bag later. So it is what it is. Now here's the replacement. This bronze color. So here it is. It's all smooth. One thing I will say though, it looks like it's a little kind of bumpy in here. I don't know if you can see that with the light. You know, if I turn it on an angle, it looks very like bumpy and poorly finished in here. We'll have to put some filler on this and sand it down. I can see a lot of like bumps and dots on it. But it's a nice heavy piece. It's not cracked. You know, that's the biggest thing for me. Ours, it's cracked by this flange, so we had to replace it. I don't want the paint to crack. I tried to find a used one on the internet, but they're all broken, and you know, they cost as much as this one does, and they're all torn up. You don't know what condition it is. So this one's brand new. I figured if I'm going to spend the same amount of money, I might as well start off with one that's in good shape instead of getting one that's, you know, maybe it's no better than the one that I took off the car. Who knows? One thing I would like to do though is see how this thing fits up to the fender. So I'll get that old fender, I mean the new fender out here, and we'll just run these 3 screws into it and bolt it on and just see how it fits around the edge. Here it is. I have the fender flipped over now, and the top, this is the top edge you're looking at. There's the fender laying down on the table. Just to orient you, there's the wheel opening back there. So you can see this thing is laying sideways. So this is the top right here. This fits perfect. I mean, this A+, you know. This thing it's smooth, there's no bump, there's nothing. When I get that other nut on there and hold this front corner down, this thing's gonna fit like a glove. But you come around to the side, and there's, you know, right down here, it's really nice. It's flush right at this bottom edge. The body lines kind of don't align. They don't kind of don't align. They don't align. You can see that this body line doesn't really extend into the headlight bucket in the same place. And then here on the side, there's a little bit of a lip here. So it's not like totally flush. I noticed on the existing piece that I have, they filled this all and sanded it down and smoothed it. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I think I might just leave this lip kind of hanging out. You know, it's not the end of the world to me. I don't think that really, it doesn't really detract too much from it. I'm sure when they built these cars, things didn't fit perfect. You know, I might try and see if I can't work this line here over a little bit. You know, I think maybe we could sand this down and, you know, get that edge to break a little closer. I had it off camera. Get this edge to break a little closer to this body line. But other than that, you know, it's pretty good. I'm happy with it. So that's how it looks just right out of the box. And who knows, when you put it on the car and tweak it, maybe we can adjust it a little bit and make it even fit a little better. That's it for today. A couple of new parts from Mustangs Unlimited. We got some other stuff, you know, nuts and bolts, things like that. I'll show you some of that other stuff later when we get ready to install it.